All right, cool. This is going to be our first thing of amateur hour, but one day we're going to have to rename this when both of us have our pro cards. But for now,
I know. I feel like funny because it's like amateur hour, but we've both been competing for years. So it's
yeah,
like an amateur, but well experienced.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It'll be fun. Okay, it'll be good because I feel like we'll be able to tell other amateurs like what they can expect as amateurs and everything, you
Yeah.
know. But with the Arnold that just passed, I think we should chat about that and what we think about it. And I'll
Do,
splice videos and stuff in as we later on. So
do you have the lineup at all from the past
yes,
show? Or even the scorecards? You
I
should pull
was
that up.
just about to pull that up. Give me scorecards. Ba-ba-ba. Day one scorecards. And I'll share my screen so we can all look at it. Share this screen. All right, so here we go. Scorecards. So for everyone who isn't paying attention, Jacqueline got first. Michelle, aka Shelly, came in second. We got Tamara in third, Amber in fourth, and Andrea in fifth.
Were there 10 judges?
You know what? I'm not sure. No one has said it. There's usually is it an odd number of judges, I think, because they usually drop um the top two or top and
The
bottom. Did you
like
scores?
high and low.
Yeah, yeah. So it's either nine, but I heard someone say 11 or 13, and I'm like, that seems like a lot.
Yeah, because I had thought that Jacqueline said that she had like a perfect score, but then I would be surprised why it would be like a 10.
Yeah. Well, so if there were nine judges, then if they drop two highs and two lows, then that wouldn't that
Yeah,
give
because
them?
they could still be ones, you know?
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, do you want to talk about physique first or like routines?
Let's go with routines first, since
Okay.
that's the more interesting thing.
Who do you feel like was the standout for you?
Uh, Jacqueline for sure, of course. She definitely had the most like high energy routine. She was moving constantly. She had the cleanest movements and best execution of all the skills, I think.
Hmm.
And I also think she had really good transitions and flow. She doesn't necessarily, she I also think well, let me start over. She had really good, like at the beginning, I think, strength skills. Like I think she definitely, I'm not sure what was different, but I know it was a different combination that she normally does, and it's a longer combination. So I think that showed her strength off really well. Plus, she had all those like one arm freezes and things that were really cool. Um, yeah, so yeah, Jacqueline definitely was like way above everyone else in my opinion. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I feel like her strength combos are hard, but like everything is very clean. Like you'll notice something I notice across the board is like when Jacqueline hits a hold, it's very clear this is a hold and it's supposed to be a hold. Like I always love when she does her straddle hold and she like almost like gets cocky with it, looks side to side, like, do you see this? Like I'm holding it for like 5 whole seconds.
Yeah.
But like I like that a lot more than just like a lift off and then down right away.
Yep. Yeah. There's like a freeze. Every moment is like, this is a moment. This is a moment, you know?
Well, even her music did that. It like would like have like bangs and like it was supposed to hit on a skill, so that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. 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 She coordinated that really well. Um, let's see. So who, well, what did you think of Shelley's routine?
So I always think Shelly's really strong. Obviously, her physique is a really big strong point for her. She's got awesome jumps and like height, but I feel like she was a little nervous on some of the tumbling. I don't know if some of this tumbling is new for her. Like the back tuck, she seemed a little nervous about. And then, which is interesting because she can jump so high. I was like, girl, believe in yourself. You could flip that over. Um, but the only thing I would like to see from Shelly is maybe like some different choreography because I do feel like the the difference between the top two is like Jacqueline's connected with audience and the judges. I feel like Shelly is more connected in her routine, like thinking about the routine.
Yeah. She has a gymnastics background, right? I think.
I'm not sure.
Okay. I feel like she does, but yeah, even as someone as myself who's not a gymnast or tumbler, I noticed the sort of wobbliness and nervousness in some of her tumbling. Like I feel like she didn't land any of them very strong or cleanly. And I don't remember her being like that in her first few routines.
I
Uh,
don't remember her tumbling that much before,
oh, see, I don't, huh.
but maybe she has, and I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah. I would do, yeah, I did find her routine also a little repetitive because it's just like a lot of like back tucks and then
Yeah,
like toe touch
that's
and then a back tuck again. And then I'm like,
that's what helps with routines is like the artistry between fast and low, high and low. Like I think people want their eyes to move across the stage and like be wowed by different movements. Taylor obviously didn't compete at the show, but I think that's why Taylor stood out so much because it was like I can flip, but I can do handstands, I can do holds like this, I can do splits like this. It's like, whoa, there's all these different variations. Like I don't know what's next, and it can make it exciting.
yeah, yeah. And also it's just like, I think to be, at least in my opinion, a fitness athlete is like how is like trying to be the most well-rounded athlete, right? Meaning we can do all kinds of things where we're judged not just on like how powerful or strong we are. We got to be flexible. We got to be able to move. So incorporating skills that show all of that off, where you're showing strength and your cardiovascular fitness and everything, and
Yeah.
is important. Um, okay, what about Tam's routine?
I love Tam's energy. I always wish people would do a different routine whenever it's so close to the Olympia. That's just my own opinion. So I would have loved to see something a little bit different, even if it was a similar style. Um, but yeah, I mean, isn't Tam in her 50s too?
Uh,
40s or 50s?
40s? I thought she was in her 40s, like late
Okay.
40s.
I know that she's a mama as well, and so
Yep.
that always impresses me when someone like has a family, is a little bit older, and is still able to like be on top. What were your thoughts?
I thought she had um a equally clean routine as Jacqueline's, just it was much slower and lower in difficulty
Hmm.
overall. Yeah, because like I think Tam also has a dance background, and so she usually can execute very well and is very intentional in all her movements, and her connection with the audience is also quite good. It's
Yeah,
just her tempo is a little bit slower, her difficulty level also isn't quite as high. But I think because she is so clean with her moves, it places her pretty high.
yeah. No, I agree. It goes a long way. Like you could have great skills, but like if you're not connected with the audience or clean, like you're not going to get as far.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Next one. Amber.
She's gonna be mad if I say this, but Amber, please let's try. I want to see you. This is my wish for Amber. Let's do like a dramatic theme, something different. You're a little cupcake and adorable, and I love you, and you're so talented. But I would love to see a little different style from Amber. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like her routines personally, but I think it would also be cool to see a slightly different style.
I think like, or just like a little bit themed. Like, I feel like she could pull off like Mrs. Incredible or something cutesy,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like a little theme, a little different of choreography. I guess that's what I'm asking.
Hmm.
Obviously she did great at this Arnold. Like she should be really proud of herself and her performance. I'm not saying her performance was bad, but I noticed that her routines, from what I've seen at like Tampa Pro to like this routine, they're pretty similar. And I would love to see a little something different
Yeah.
because she's got so much skill and potential to do whatever the heck she wants.
Oh, yeah. And she moves so easily. Like, I think, is Amber
I think she was a
old?
gymnast.
Yeah. Well, I know she was all three. All three, meaning like she was a gymnast and a dancer and a cheerleader. I
Yeah.
think so that's why she can connect things really well and perform well.
She never
Um,
looks tired,
no,
ever.
no, I feel like she could go on for like 10 more minutes.
Yeah,
It's
like when
crazy.
she's done, I feel like she's like still full of energy and could like keep going. And that's exactly what I mean. I'm like, if you have energy like that, I see like Oksana's themes and I'm like, do a crazy theme because like that's not going to exhaust you. Like you're just going to be like in it.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think, is it the way she moves that's very efficient? That, 'cause I sometimes, you can see people do similar skills that looks hard on them. And somehow she just is like, nope, this is like, I'm sleeping.
I think that she's just really strong. I mean, you look at
Okay.
her physique and she's really lean. She's got a lot of muscle, but when you're so small, I mean, the amount of muscle that's on her frame is a lot. And she just might be a well-rounded athlete where she is really
Yep.
flexible and mobile, and that goes a long way with how you move on stage. Because
Yeah.
some people are strong and have skills, but they're like not mobile, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. A little robotic and stiff. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Andrea's routine. I like that she did something different, like a very different, more dramatic kind of thing. Um, she said herself in her YouTube that it wasn't like it could be cleaned up, and I totally agree. I feel like Andrea, as she performs her routine more on stage, it gets cleaner and cleaner. Like she just needs more time for it to like settle, I guess, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even think that she knew she was initially gonna do the Arnold until she got, like, the invite. So, to go from, like, maybe taking a longer amount of time off to, like, turning it around and doing a new routine for the Arnold, it is a lot to do in such a short period of time. I was excited to see her doing something different. Um, I agreed with her handstand pirouette comment and the kip up, but she did play it off. I mean, honestly, kipping up that low is painful. I think everybody's done that before,
Yeah.
but to be able to like get up and like play it off, like that's just what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And she had also, I think the handstand skills she had in the beginning, I think they were all newer skills. And
Mhm.
there's definitely, I think it's cool that she's able to do them pretty quite well, actually. Like, I
She's
didn't feel like
pretty
they were
good at
difficult.
like hold transitions. Like
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that I think I'm gonna bring up Taylor a lot. I think when Taylor came in with all these handstand skills, a lot of people were like, I need to get better at handstand skills. When everybody has their own like thing that they're really good at. So like I feel like Andrea's really good at hold transitions. So I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, do like a croc to a straddle to maybe another hold. Like I don't see that a lot, and I think that that's kind of cool.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Tiffany. I was excited about Tiffany's routine. I was so happy to see her. Like, she got her mojo back, I felt like.
Yeah, I was actually surprised in the physique round. I know we're talking about routines, so we'll talk about physique in a second. But with the routine, really fun, very clean, very engaged with the audience. I was very excited for Tiffany. I loved the pants rip off in the flip, and I
Yeah.
like whenever you can hear the audience like get excited about it. So that was really cool. She's a really high tumbler too, so it's like it does make me nervous when some people are tumbling and it's like it's a little nervy. And like Tiffany's, because she was a gymnast, like she's got such beautiful tumbling and height.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is that I feel like Shelly and Tiffany are similar in how they're both like very powerful type of um fitness people.
Average.
They
Yeah.
do a lot of tumbling and stuff. They jump a lot. And so and I felt like Tiffany had the better, cleaner, more interesting routine than Shelly. So it's kind of surprising to see how different they got scored.
Yeah. I think it's just the physique that brought the placements differently
Yeah.
because when you look at the structure of Shelly compared to Tiffany, like there's just so much more muscle that Shelly has, and Shelly also has a really good taper.
Yep. Yep. So I guess we can go into physique now since we're talking
Yeah.
about it.
Well, let's kind of briefly talk about some of our other ladies
Yeah,
that
sure.
for the placings. Um, I just want to like say something I liked and something I would like to maybe see different. So Kristen, I mean, that's another one. Great tumbler, great skills, maybe some slightly different choreography, and that can help. She reminds me of the old school fitness girl with like the upbeat music. And I don't know if she's found her thing that like she seems to be really connected with. It almost feels a little because gymnasts can be very structured, right? I
Mhm.
am almost like maybe we try a different style and see how that fits you, like a dramatic one or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, a lot of her routines have been very similar
Bouncy.
also. Yeah.
Yeah. And Michelle, like I would love to see a different routine from you. I've seen this routine a couple of times. I was at Tampa Pro when I was able to see her in person, and I feel like she had an injury, right?
Yeah, she tore her calf like just a little bit before the Olympia.
Yeah. So that can be really hard to like work through.
Yeah.
I liked Mina's costuming and the ribbons, but of course would love to see a little bit more skill work from her.
Mhm.
Um, and then Renee, like Renee has a lot of really good potential for sure. I think she got a little low with scoring here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Renee, d- just because I know her personally, I'm always like, why is she scoring so low? Because she's very clean also
She reminds me of
in her
Allison.
yeah. Yeah. And she's super strong and everything. She almost makes like the handstand stuff, like the strength stuff almost too easy. That you like kind of
Yeah.
miss like, oh, that was actually really difficult to do.
That's the hard thing because like I'll see like a press to handstand, let's say from Jacqueline, and then I think Kristen does like a jump up, straddle up to handstand, and I like look at the judges. I'm like, y'all don't even know the difference between those two, do you?
Probably not. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about physique.
Mhm. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised about the scoring. I actually thought they would put Tam a little bit higher just because she was so much more conditioned, but it's kind of nice to see Shelly place higher instead. Just
Shelly
because,
looked
like,
good. I
yeah.
mean, she looked kind of insane, honestly,
Yeah.
at prejudging. She's got a similar structure to Missy. She's a little bit more narrow in her lower body than Missy was.
Hmm.
Um, and then let's see. Did Jacqueline get third
Yeah,
or
she got
yeah,
third.
she got third. Okay. And then Amber got fourth,
Yep. And then
which is I was
go,
happy to see her do good in physique because I feel like sometimes she gets overlooked when she's like peeled and I mean, could she add more muscle to her size? I guess, but like the amount of muscle she has on such a small person is like really like a lot.
yeah. And also, we were just saying how mobile she is. There is a risk where, like, if she puts on like too much more muscle, that it could like impede her movements and stuff. So there is
Yeah.
that balance.
And then who was the next place? So we got Andre
Andrea, yeah, and
and Chris
Kristen, they were very close.
1 point away. What do you think kind of separated those two?
Um, I would guess shape. Andrea, I think, has overall better shape, even though she doesn't have quite as much muscle. And I think Andrea's posing was much better all around. Kristen's like side poses look really like awesome. Like with her lat coming out and everything. She has that really nice, she looks really tight, but with her front and back poses are still need a bit of love and adjustment, I think. She just
Yeah.
doesn't show off her physique very well from those 2 points, and those are very significant.
Yeah. I feel like Kristen's like glutes and legs can come in a little bit tighter. She's just someone that I think holds just a little bit more body fat in that area, which is normal. I mean, that's usually the last to go for a lot of women.
Yep.
But I always like Kristen's shape. I think that she'll be really good. She just needs to like, fine tune the physique around and she's got the muscle.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she still just needs to figure out like little details, a lot of little
Yeah.
details, and then she's just gonna be like at the top.
But as a natural competitor for Andrea, like that's a great placement
Yep.
to get like at the Arnold.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm really excited for her. Uh,
And then so we had Kristen, and
And then
then
it was Michelle, Minna, and Renee. They were, yeah, in that
yeah,
order. Oh,
a
sorry, and
lot of
Tiffany. Tiffany is Michelle, Tiffany, Minna, and Renee.
yeah, a lot of it was either like size and shape and then conditioning, like either or. Although I actually feel like Minna has a pretty good physique. I would almost want to see her physique again. But
Yep. Well, she comes from a woman's bodybuilding, I think, background, so
yeah,
she has
she's
so much
grown.
muscle. Yeah, I don't know if she even like needs to weight train anymore for our
Could you
division.
imagine?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, she probably could use a little more conditioning, I think. Um, that's probably the main thing for her. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, she's like kind of she's I'd say as far as how much muscle she carries, Kristen and Minna are very like comparable from that perspective. Just Minna has probably has more development and like maturity.
Well, yeah. She's a little bit older of a
Yep.
competitor, so you just get that naturally.
Yep.
I was sad to not see Ariel compete. I kind of wonder if she is going to compete again. It's been what now, full year?
Yep. Yeah, because her last show was Arnold last year, and then she decided not to do the Olympia because of her neck
Next.
problem, and then had announced she couldn't do this one, which I had seriously just assumed she wasn't going to. Because when she talked about it before the Olympia, I was like, oh, you're going to be out for a while. Because she said she had been putting it off for a couple of years and it's reached a point where she can't ignore it anymore. And I feel like with those kind of issues, if it took that long to build up and you ignored it for that long, then it's going to take just as long for you to recover from it.
Yeah. I think that's a scary thing with fitness is like you could be doing so well and an injury can just like take you out. And that's why I don't know how she hurt her neck, but it's so important to understand like your boundaries as a competitor too. Like for me, could I get a standing back tuck on stage? Sure. I'm pretty dang confident I could do that. Do I want to do it? Is the risk worth the reward? It's just not worth it to me.
Yeah. Yep. I'm still gonna
But
learn. I'm still gonna learn the skill, but
you'd be surprised though, because I've broken my toe before running in a circle. So like
no, you know what? You know that like that back limber skill I've been working on. I actually did like land too hard one day and like it's still like a little weird right now. Like I did something to like the tendons in my toe or something. It's
yeah,
just like
I did
all
this
I
like
did was stand up.
I did like this handstand transition down to the ground and I like slammed my heel so hard that like I couldn't even walk for a couple of days
Oh
without pain. I was
no.
just like, is this age or am I just not skilled?
I know exactly what you mean. Uh,
But how do you feel with obviously the Olympia is like ages away, but with this showing, I mean, what do you predict for maybe like top 3 at the Olympia?
let's see. I
We obviously don't know who all's invited because this can change too with
Yeah, yeah,
who's
for sure.
coming.
Um, I feel like Jacqueline's gonna finally have her
Take it.
moment and take it. Yeah. Unless Taylor like comes in with a significantly better physique where she can close the
Mhm.
gap there a little bit, but I don't really see that happening yet. She's also a natural competitor and it's just gonna take some time. She made great improvements last year, but I think she's still not quite there yet.
Yeah, I wonder what the Olympia scoring was with the routines because I had thought that Jacqueline and Taylor were close. I know Taylor had a little, she wasn't happy with her performance at the Olympia, like she's been transparent about that.
Yeah.
So I almost wonder how close they were on scoring because I know that Taylor still won the routine, but I think they were close.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I can also look it up, but I believe Taylor got a perfect score, and it was actually close between Missy
Missy,
and
Jesus.
Jacqueline. And I think no, and I think Jacqueline got second still. Um, I'm just gonna see if I can find it
Yeah,
quickly
but that
enough.
was a different routine for Missy too.
Yeah, see if I can find it. It's gonna take a hot minute. November. Oh, maybe I won't. November, October. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Day one. That's nice. It's on the same page. Women's bodybuilding, women's fitness. Okay. Yeah. So Taylor got a perfect score. Jacqueline got 22 points and Missy got 26
Well,
points.
she did take second in the
Yeah.
routine.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
I kind of feel like because we were talking about how it's important to be very clean and everything and have the audience connection. Like Jacqueline is a much better like performer than Taylor and everything, and
Hmm.
had, in my opinion, like the cleaner routine and everything. Like I feel like
She's just
it should have been
got
closer. It should have been
she's
a lot
got the
closer.
reps, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes fitness hard is because what you deem entertaining is different than what I deem entertaining. And
Yeah.
what you deem hard, I deem might maybe easy or vice versa. And so it's hard to be like, oh, I like this routine more, but why? You know?
Yeah.
I
Uh,
wish that there was almost like brief explanations of like, this is why this person won over this one.
yeah.
I wish we could see more behind the scenes of judging. But that's honestly with any division. It's like just really subjective.
Yeah. You I wish they would like release which judges scored, gave them which scores and like let them talk about individually talk about it because like yeah, like you're saying, everyone has sort of a different opinion on like why someone does better than another person. So it'd be nice to just hear it from the individual judges. Um,
Hmm.
uh, they're not going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, even just some of the other scores that we see, like I felt like Stephanie had like a really clean routine and entertaining and stuff, but
hmm
I guess they just didn't vibe with it as much that day, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it also gets a little difficult when there's so many competitors and they have like no time to really think about it. It's just like one after the other after the other. So you can't really sit there and really think about, okay, this is how I want to score them relative to these other people. It's not
Yeah.
like,
This
yeah,
is why it's so important, like I've talked about, to have your own sort of style and choreography because we know what a Jacqueline routine is. We know what a Missy routine is. Missy's always gonna, no offense, ladies, but she's gonna have the best costumes, like, and the best props. We know we're starting to know what a Taylor routine looks like more. Like we're starting. I know what an Allison routine is gonna look like.
yep,
And like everybody, I think, needs to really find their style so they can like stick out because some of these other ladies, some of them blend in a bit, you know?
yeah, agreed. Yeah, because I think some people will just try to copy
Yeah.
what's popular or what's doing well, but then it's like, well, that doesn't really fit the way you move and everything.
Yeah.
It's not quite right.
Like
Yeah.
the it factor. That's
hmm
kind of what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not to say that anyone is not talented. I think everybody on that stage is talented for sure.
Oh yeah, yes, of course, because it takes a lot to even get there in the first place. I think everyone has it. They just got to figure out what their it is,
I'm
basically.
surprised that they didn't put for Amy
Oh,
like
DNF or something?
yeah, did not finish. That was a very odd thing with Olympia.
Yeah. Yeah, did you follow what happened there? The
The
controversy. Not
I
controversy, but
thought it
like
was like music, like the music bounced back and it was confusing people.
yeah, that was basically it. Like the reverberation of the however they were playing the song was like too much for her, and so she thought her song was broken and was like repeating the same section. She couldn't hear the actual music, so that really threw her off, unfortunately.
I'm surprised. I mean, I guess it's Olympia. They didn't let her go, but like I've seen at the amateur level, like costume mishaps and girls like coming off stage and being able to finish and do it, start over.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's because it from what I saw in our like group chat, it's because Amy wasn't the first person to experience that. A lot of other people did and
Yeah.
so it's just like, well, you kind of had a fair playing field. So,
Yeah. You just never know, like with music, like if you're an athlete, like if your music stops, like something I learned as a gymnast is like you just keep going with the
yeah.
routine and people will clap or like help you get through it or they'll turn on house music or something. And that's not to say that that's like easy to do. It's hard. It takes a lot of quick thinking, but and obviously it takes away from your routine if it's not your music.
Yeah. but it's
I think all the routines didn't get their full experience because that music was weird.
yeah. Yeah, I don't. It was definitely weird for me listening to from the live stream. 'Cause I was like, I can't really tell. It was a little hard to tell what was going on. I was like, something seems off. So
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I know that they played different music for some other of the like male athletes, like their music was wrong or and yeah, that would suck.
yeah, for sure. But I will say, I feel like as like for the male athletes, or even like the women's bodybuilding or like physique, when you have a reposing routine, I feel like you should be able to improvise a little bit. It's
Oh, I
like
could
it is,
improvise
you know,
anything,
right?
I just would not feel like some house music or something, like, you just gotta get through it.
Yeah.
Some of these posers, though, they're not like I feel like bodybuilding has kinda lost some of the art with some of the posing, where they used to be more fun, I feel like, with what people would do.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm like listening to like really slow music, I'm like, oh, it'd be so fun to like be the tiniest women's physique competitor ever. Just so I can do a slow routine without needing to worry about like tumbling. Like I'll put like a couple holds in there for fun. Do like the slowest fitness
Yeah.
routine
They
ever.
used to do, like, splits and stuff or, like, a
Yeah.
push-up position hold and stuff.
Or like it'd be really cool if you do a really pretty like back bend with like a leg up or bridge, like
Yeah.
show off muscle in a totally different angle and everything. But
We just need some men's fitness, and we'll see some crazy stuff.
right?
They'll make us all feel really bad.
Oh man, that would
It's
be
like,
great.
whenever I would teach a friend, like a male friend, like, how to, like, do a back tuck or tumble, it's just like, it's not fair. You just get to fly in the air and, like, I'm
Right?
just, like feels like there's concrete on my feet.
Yeah, but I mean, their center of gravity is so different, and then yeah, their physiology is just so different. It's like, come on.
Yeah. So much harder.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, I feel like this was a solid Arnold. I'm really proud of Jacqueline and winning and it's hard to get second and always be the bridesmaid, but I feel like she finally had her moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Much deserved. I think it's been I feel like there have been times where she should have gotten it earlier, but I'm glad she got it now.
Yeah, I think she would agree with you probably. But that's like a lot of competitors, like when you put your best out there, it can feel hard when you feel like it didn't get rewarded.
Yeah. But that's the game we're playing
That's
sometimes.
life. No.
Yeah.
I think you and I have both felt like that before.
Oh yes, 100%. Just otherwise we would not be calling this amateur hour.
What do I know? I'm just an amateur. But all right. Well, I always love like being able to connect and chat more about fitness and I'm hoping that this year we can continue to spread more information on fitness. And if anyone did watch the Arnold or you watch the Olympia and you're looking at routines and thinking, I can't do this or I can't do that, I like to remind people that these are the best in the world and you're not supposed to be the best in the world. You have your first time ever competing. My first ever routine was not the best routine in the world, but you have a baseline and then you just get better from there and you learn more. And it's just like any other sport. Like you're not supposed to be fantastic right now. And of course, we have amateurs that do their first show and they're so amazing, like hit the pro circuit, do fantastic, and they do fantastic. But it's not like that for everyone, and that's okay.
It's not like that for most people, and you have to remember a lot of those people have like years and years of past experience that they're leaning on to
Hmm.
get them to that point. And if you don't have that, it's okay. Gotta, you just start now, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you don't have to flip, you don't have to do certain moves. Like if you can't do, I mean, I don't even have a straddle jump in my routine because I always pull my groin out. Like it's fine. Like you don't have to do certain moves just because you see them.
Yeah, yeah. There's only four mandatories: push-up of any kind, a straddle hold, a high kick, and a split. That's it. And you can cheat your split. You can cheat all of those in a way that works for you and still looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to cheat my straddle hold to the best of my ability. No, I got it down, but it's I hate that skill so much.
Oh yeah. It is deceptively the hardest skill, in my opinion, out of all four
Out
mandatories.
of all of the hold moves I can do too, I'm like, why is this the hardest?
Yeah. It's like I only need to come up this far off the ground, but it's exhausting. It's like a full body, like, ugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we can end it here. Thank you so much for joining me for Amateur Hour, and catch
Yeah.
you
Thanks,
later.
guys.
Mhm. Bye.